do I feel good today. It is Thursday, September 14th, 2023. This is your daily sports betting brand of record. We call it the Early Edge. We are presented, as always, every single show, every single day, by the king of all sports books, BetMGM. We are powered as well by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. And it is not close. There is so much information at SportsLine, and we want you to be a part of it. A very, very light day on Wednesday, because we were getting you ready for the college football season, the NFL week, all of that good stuff. And by the way, speaking of college football, if you didn't watch us live yesterday, what a great show. Chip, EC, my man AB taking you through the big games, the best bets for Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night. And, oh, yes, the late game, just as fate would have it, Colorado State on the road in Colorado. You want to take the time to watch that show. And do not forget that tonight, prime time Early Edge. You guys have been making it such an incredibly popular show. You love the new format, and we thank you for that. So with all that being said, housekeeping is done. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know him. You love him. My man Danny Brasco has been on fire lately. The sniper. Miserable Matt is here as well. So we got a little combination, gentlemen, of everything. I love that smile, Danny Brasco. Love that smile. Take yourself off mute or we will go like this.
Never again.
All right, so tonight, this one is fascinating to me. And Danny, I'm going to start with you. Vikings at the Eagles. Eagles workmanlike last week, although the Patriots had to drive late to win that game. So they're back home. First game since losing in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs at home. 49.5 is the total. Are we fading or following the favorite here, the Eagles?
This is a very dicey game to handicap, and I'm glad you set it up the way you did, Coach, because a lot of interesting outcomes last week. The Eagles won a game in which they kind of got outplayed. They got outgained in total yards by the Patriots, but a pick six, an early fumble, and all of a sudden they win and cover. And the Vikings lost a game in which they outplayed the Buccaneers. Just turnovers had them losing that game too. So a very lucky team last year was unlucky in week one in the Minnesota Vikings. And the Eagles, I think a lot of us are expecting regression from. So this wide number of 6.5, it's a little concerning, but we know Kirk Cousins struggles mightily in prime time. And funny enough, he's 7-3 against the Eagles against the spread, most profitable team he's ever played. A lot of contradicting stats here, but the problem I see most for the Vikings is that they struggle with pressure. And Christian Darrisaw looking like he might miss this game. Kirk Cousins under pressure, I can't trust it. I might play the Eagles in a 6-point teaser and bring them down to half a point. That way you're not laying a big spread. I also lean to the over, Coach.
So smart on the analysis. Hashtag educate and entertain. You bring that number down with the teaser. Now, also do it with a half a point. You don't want to do a teaser on a full point because a push is a loss if one of your legs pushes. Sniper, talk to me.
I'm laying the points. It's the Eagles in their home opener, coming off a year in which they went to the Super Bowl. Lincoln Financial Field is going to be rocking. In fact, I saw there's local news tweets that they were interviewing people at 4:30 in the morning who were already setting up the tailgate. Are you kidding me? That place is going to be a joke tonight. Look, Jalen Hurts didn't play in the preseason, which is fine, I guess. I'm kind of getting a little over this whole don't play anybody in the preseason thing. I understand protecting from injury, but I think you need some reps. He was probably a little bit rusty last week. He's not going to be rusty tonight. Knock that rust off. I think that it's going to be a multiple score win for the Eagles. So I am following Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I'll say they win by about 10.
I am so glad you just said that. With all due respect to my man, Danny Brasco, I just sent in my picks for our big Early Edge against Pick Six. Me and Will Brinson head to head every single Thursday. And I took the Eagles. And as Danny was talking, I was like, should I change my pick? But no, I'm going with the sniper on this one. And speaking of the sniper, his 1-2 punch is in the chat right now. Tuning in from the beach, Amags, a valuable member of the crew. If you have any questions, baseball or football, he's going to be doing NFL for us this year as well. Put him into the chat, and he will answer them.
In the chat, lots of fans going to jail in Philly tonight. That's evergreen. So it's,
Now, are you going to bet on the Eagles at home? That's the question. And we want everybody being a part of SportsLine, but also being a part of BetMGM. We're excited to have them on board. So, new BetMGM customers, here's what I got for you. If you sign up today, you're going to get a $200 bonus thrown right into your account. All you got to do is bet $10. You can win. You can lose. It does not matter. We want you to play, and we'll give you $200 to bet on the Eagles. Or if you like Danny's analysis, we can go on the Vikings as well.
Well, I went the teaser. I just didn't want the big spread there and, worried about that big number. But I do, there's a lot of reasons why I think the Eagles can still win this game, Coach.
Understood. And you can find another teaser leg. You can put it with a college football game. You can put it with an NFL game. You can do a lot of different ways, but be smart and listen to my guys. Now, all day today, we'll be everywhere. I just mentioned that me against Will Brinson, toe-to-toe, face-to-face. Where? Snake.
Well, you need the sports news anywhere?
We've got breaking news to bring you.
Then get your sports anytime you want them. Big trade news overnight to discuss.
Because we know you need sports all the time.
A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
A legend adds to their legacy.
We're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
CBS Sports HQ, anywhere, anytime, all the time.
Anywhere, anytime, all the time. I love that new motto. Now, here's the schedule for today in the 3 o'clock Eastern hour on Spotlight. Myself against Will Brinson, and also Uncle Dave from Fantasy Football today will be during that show. Then at 6 o'clock Eastern, getting you set for the big night in the NFL. Prop stars, anybody better at props than him. And my man, the maestro, Larry Hartstein, will be during that hour as well. Now, before we get to our board, last week was crazy. It was down under. And Danny, I want to ask you about it because there's been a lot of news this week coming out of the UFC. They just announced a partnership with the WWE, a $20 billion business now or whatever it is. But Israel Adesanya, who just a couple of years ago was the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, and now you're looking at possible retirement, or what does he do next? What did you make of that big card last week?
There are a ton of opinions flying around the MMA community, and with Izzy's shocking loss, a lot of people are really down on him immediately. MMA fans are very fickle, Coach. They only remember the last thing they saw. And while Sean Strickland put a great performance on him and looked like he really thwarted him with that style, the two conversations are, was Izzy off that night, or did Sean really shut him down? And is this the decline of a once dominant champion? I'm not willing to go to either extreme. I think both things can be true. I think Strickland's style really thwarted him, but I don't think that Izzy was off that night and it's just over for him. So we'll see what they make of the rematch, or if Izzy takes some time off. He's been such an active champion. We don't appreciate that enough. He's fighting all the time in main events, title fights. So maybe take a little time off, maybe let one title fight happen and jump right back in, and you see that vintage Adesanya again.
He's also been very entertaining. He understands that you got to entertain and fight, which not every fighter does that. Real quick, another valuable member of the crew is in the chat right now. The counselor himself, he says, I'm loving this crew right here. And C, of course, will be a part of the primetime Early Edge crew tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, Danny, I'm coming right back to you because the sniper's going last. That's his spot. That's where he's comfortable. But in 2 days, and there's a name in my notes that you talk about being active. My goodness, Kevin Holland has been active, and it looks like he's getting better. Start us off.
Well, let's start right there. We're going to the co-main event, Coach. It's UFC Fight Noche, celebrating Mexican Independence Night. And I'm going to be in attendance at these fights going wild. So I'm really looking forward to this fight card. And Coach is bringing it off talking about Kevin Holland. Well, I like him as an underdog in the co-main event of this matchup, simply because I think he can really bring the fight to Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della, rising welterweight prospect who a lot of people really had their eye on the come up. But all of a sudden in his last fight, looked to falter a little bit. He struggles with some grappling defense. And Kevin Holland, who was at middleweight getting out-grappled by Derek Brunson, Marvin Vettori, the best wrestlers, moves down to welterweight and looks like he's finally found his correct weight class. His grappling's gotten a lot better dealing with those guys. He's a problem with his size and frame at welterweight, and his toughness and cardio just might make it tough for Jack Della, who now we have some question marks about. So as a dog, give me Kevin Holland here. Let's jump back to the main event now. And in UFC Fight Noche, it's tough not to back a Mexican champion looking to defend her belt. And that's what I'm going to do, backing Alexa Grasso again against Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. Grasso shocked the world by stealing Valentina's flyweight title belt after 7 title defenses. And I think she can do it again. She's defeated the Boogie Woman. Similar to Izzy Adesanya, I feel like Valentina wins the mind games, right? It's the image. It's the aura of Valentina. How do you beat her? It's like fighting a computer that just gets every move right. All of a sudden, it feels like maybe she's lost a step in her career. Grasso brings the fire, brings the heat. She's going to stay in her face. If it looks pretty, this is a fight for Valentina. If it looks nasty, I think Grasso wins. And on UFC Fight Noche, I'm going to say she does it again. And let's close Fight Noche out with a 2-leg parlay, 2 scrappy warrior Mexican fighters. I'm going to go with Edgar Chairez to get the win and parlay him with Daniel Zellhuber. Still a little juice on this, but I think it's 2 fighters we can be confident in, and I still like the play. Chairez fighting a guy that's 0-4 in the UFC with 4 finished losses. He loses one more time, he's out of there. I think Chairez is set up to win. I can say the same about Daniel Zellhuber. Rangy, strong kickboxer against a wrestler who gasses out. So Huber's got more in the tank against him, and I think those guys get it done on UFC Fight Noche. So Viva Las Vegas, Viva La Mexico.
Oh, it's going to be fun. When is Wheels Up for you?
Wheels Up right after the show, Coach. I purposely scheduled my flight so I could do the picks here and head on out to Vegas.
Good man.
That is dedication to the team, to the crew. That's what you do. By the way, see is in the chat. Very important message. He says, everybody, there are a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball to consider for Thursday Night Football. They'll affect props and sides. Make sure you tune in at 7:30 tonight. So we're going to cash with the coach today. But Sniper, I'm going to give out my 2 picks. And in between each one, I want to hear your take. I want to hear your take on my picks. And you can be critical if you want to. That's all right. So I'm going to go with the Mets on the money line, -116 first. Last night, they beat Zach Gallen, who is in the running for the National League Cy Young. He could win it, but last night they were the better team. They've been the better team. They won 2 out of 3 in the series, 3 out of the last 4. So I like the Mets at home to take down another good pitcher in Kelly. Your thoughts, Sniper?
Yeah, I could definitely see this one. I'm glad you gave me permission to be critical of you, because otherwise I was just going to say it was amazing no matter what. But, it's a tough one because Senga, he doesn't go overly deep in games a lot, talking about like 8 innings. However, last time he faced the Diamondbacks, he went 8 innings, completely shut them down. I could see the Mets. Yeah, this one feels kind of like it's closer to a toss-up for me. But you could definitely see the Mets winning this. The Diamondbacks are so fickle. They went to Wrigley and won 3 of 4 behind Kelly and Gallen, but then Gallen got knocked around last night. Yeah, I'm down with the Mets, I guess.
Okay. In my second play, I'm going up north. The Rangers, they've won the first 3 games of the series against the Blue Jays, a Blue Jays team that is seeing their playoff chances go down the block. But I'm going to take it on the run line, +1.5, -153. And the reason I'm doing that is because Coachman is on the mound for Toronto. He's their best pitcher by far, but they have not played well. And last night, the Rangers beat them 10-0, shut them out. So I think you give me that extra run. I'll take it, a little juicy, but I think it's worth the squeeze. Your thoughts, Sniper?
Yeah, sorry, I actually disagree with you here. The Blue Jays have been totally uninspiring. I'll give you that. But they're starting Nathan Eovaldi, who he's only had 2 starts coming off the injured list, and he only threw 2 1/3 innings last time. He's not completely stretched out. They're going to need a lot of bullpen after him, and the Rangers bullpen is unreliable enough that I think the Blue Jays will get there late in the game. But the other night when Scherzer went down, I was on HQ, and I said, hey, the longer it stays 0-0, the more I like the Blue Jays in this game because the Rangers bullpen is so bad, and the Rangers are the team that exploded. So, these 2 teams are so fickle. Anything can happen. I happen to disagree with you here, but I wouldn't feel strongly enough about it, for example, to go on a showdown. So, hey, we'll see.
Okay. And I respect your opinion. That's why I asked so much. By the way, AMAG says Coachman K's, though. Your thought on that, Sniper? I don't know. I'm assuming the number would be 6.5 or 5.5. I have not looked that up.
I think it might be 6.5 at -125. I don't know why that's so fresh in my mind. Maybe we should just go straight to my official plays.
Okay, well, why don't we hold that thought and we'll go to your official plays, because I did jump the gun there just a little bit. But before we do that, not only is it a big week here at the Early Edge, but all across the platforms at CBS.
Saturday, the champs are back on CBS and chasing history. Top dog Georgia has their sights set on an unprecedented three-peat. Will the Gamecocks put a dent in their dynasty? South Carolina, Georgia. Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Jeremy Jones says, home runs, props coach, what happened to them? Well, we did the football game today. We don't have time to do everything, every single show, but I appreciate the interest. All right, Sniper. As I look at my notes, I see a Toronto Blue Jays pitcher tonight that I think can have a really good night against the team that I just picked against them. You're up.
I think I might go with Kevin Gossman. It's over 6.5 strikeouts at -125. Yeah, just off the top of my head, let's go with that one. Yeah, Gossman at home, 121 strikeouts in 88 innings so far this year. That's 12.4 per 9 innings. Obviously, probably not going to go 9 innings against this good Rangers offense. But if you go down to 6 innings, he averages 8.25 strikeouts per 6 innings at home. The Rangers offense has been great the last few days. They're middle of the pack in strikeouts, but they're worse on the road. They're worse against right-handed pitchers. Gossman's a righty. They've been worse in the second half. They have exploded, as I said, these last 4 games, but that makes me feel like there's a little bit of a downturn coming. So I like the Gossman on the strikeouts. Maybe you'll get that Rangers win in there. There's a path for us to both win here. Rangers either lose by 1 run or win the game while Gossman gets to his strikeouts. So I think we can hit both there. And then also, same game we just talked about, Kodai Senga over 6.5 strikeouts. He has 181 strikeouts and 149 in the third innings this year. 12 strikeouts, as I said, against the Diamondbacks last time out. And I guess I'm kind of revealing myself that I didn't just have it memorized. I actually had studied for Senga ahead of time. That would have been amazing if I actually
would have been
in my head. He's much better at home. And I'm looking for a big strikeout game for him against this inconsistent Diamondbacks team. 7.57 strikeouts per start at home this year. I think he's going to cruise over these 6.5.
All right. A lot of great analysis there. Remember, there's a lot of day baseball today as well. The first game starts at 12:35 Eastern time and goes throughout the day because they like to load it up when the football season starts. So the night is wide open for the Vikings and the Eagles. Good stuff, gentlemen. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here's the recap, courtesy of the Snake. Look how good those graphics look. Presented by BetMGM. Thank you very much. Danny Brasco, we got 3 big plays. We're going to Alexa Grasso, and she felt disrespected in an interview recently that she did with how Shevchenko reacted to the loss 5 months ago. She didn't like it. Plus 150. And Kevin Holland, money line plus 125. Then a little money line parlay. We really only recommend these in MMA because some of the numbers are so big. So Huber, put them together, minus 112. That's a good number for MMA. Then, if you're going to cash with the coach, you're going to do with these 2. Mets on the money line, minus 116. Rangers, plus 1.5, minus 153. Then the sniper, 2 big props from baseball. Kevin Gossman, over 6.5 Ks, minus 125. And Kodai Senga, over 6.5 Ks, minus 135. A gentle reminder, tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, a full 45 minutes of breakdowns. As Sia said, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of things to break down also. Phil McKagan, you guys have loved the addition of him, the X's and the O's from a former NFL coach. He has been fantastic. As always, he'll be a part of the crew tonight as well. Have a great day. Pay it forward. Be kind to one another and tell all your friends we want them at SportsLine. Because if you're not a SportsLine member yet, what in the world are you doing? You thought I'd forget? I'm going to do you a solid right here, right now. Sign up with us, and for the next 3 months, use the promo code COACH. I'll give you 60% off. After that, you're playing with house money. Take out the QR code or just go to sportsline.com/join. We want everybody here at SportsLine. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Sniper, Danny Brasco, wheels up to Vegas today. Don't forget about the Snake, always on the 1s and the 2s. I am simply the coach, trying to get this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.